Welcome everybody to Edge of Eternities limited set review. Day 1. So we begin with colorless commons. Then after that, I suggest that we go to the multicolors, like commons, then uncommons, then rares, and then we go to the multicolors. And please guys, read the legend. Read the legend. It's in the description. You can see it on any tier list. You can write exclamation mark tier list. Check the link and read the legend. Just to be quick, we go from grades for the new people from A to F, A being a bomb grade, F being an unplayable grade, never put in your deck. Then we go to B, which is overstated things, undercosted things. C is like the bulk of your deck, but C plus is like pretty damn good, but not quite overstated enough or undercosted enough. D is filler. You're probably gonna play some, can't always have a perfect deck. Sometimes D cards are great cards that you just want one in your deck, so you don't need to pick it highly. Some super high-costed creatures usually get lower grades, because, well, most often you're not gonna be running 7 6-drops. So if you get 2 or 3, or even 1, you might never need another one, which wastes your pick. So it's not only about the power level of the card, it's also how many you want in your deck, and how easy they are gonna be to get. We also give a sideboard grade when something is really good for the sideboard. This is very rare case for not that many cards, but just something to think about. And when we go, we sometimes give ceiling grades. The ceiling grades mean, well, a card is maybe medium, but in the right deck, with the right build around, it could be something great. That's kind of about it. For the multicolor cards, we give a grade kind of usually a little bit lower, unless it's such a good card that it pulls you into that color. And we give it an in-color grade, which is when you know that you're in that color, how good is it? When you know that you're in that color. So that means in-color grade for multicolor cards. I have a feeling like lately, we'll be giving a bit higher grades for multicolor cards that are really good, because lately we've been getting extremely powerful multicolor cards, so it's worth it to take them even if you're not gonna end up in that color. But multicolor cards that are splashable get higher grades all around, because you don't have to be exactly in those 2 colors. And my god, is splashing gonna be a thing in this set. Scotty, anything to add?
Not in terms of this tier list structure.
Anything else?
I mean, there's some stuff to talk about in terms of the structure of this set.
Yeah.
I think one thing to note immediately that I just learned today is that there's no dual lands. There's only lander tokens. Am I right?
There is actually no dual lands. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no dual lands.
At least from what I saw, right? There is.
Yep.
There's just that one land that taps for something.
Yeah.
But there is like there's way better access to splashing and way more prevalent, I think, than dual lands. We don't care about the rare lands, right? Those are, you're not gonna build a deck that has a lot of them. Yeah. The rares, my advice, the rares don't exist until you see them. So they don't exist. So it's not like you're building an archetype, oh, I'm gonna get that shock land. They don't exist until you see them. Commons and uncommons should very much exist in your mind and in your planning of deck building and drafting. So yeah, that's actually interesting. I didn't think about it that much. Because of all the lander tokens and all the other ways of splashing, like actually green ways of splashing, is like kind of don't need this, don't need the dual lands in this one. But it is pretty interesting. Okay, Scotty, anything else?
No. I'll read the first one.
Let's go.
Chrome Companion. Chrome Companion is 2 mana for an artifact dog. It's a 2/1. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you gain 1 life. 2 and tap, put target card from a graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. Whenever this attacks, you gain 1 life. And specifically, there are a lot of what's called stations in this set, which are artifacts that you can tap your creatures to I might have to adjust my volume.
I'm making you louder.
You can tap creatures to add charge counters on them. Once they hit a certain threshold of charge counters, they turn into creatures. So you don't actually have to attack. with this in order to gain life. That being said, I don't think this is particularly special. This is pretty replaceable. I think this is a D.
Not many mill in this set, really not many mill, like 0 common mill effects. So... Man, babu, why does this have to tap? I love these freaking cards, I love playing these, like, super grindy decks that have a kind of backup plan of I'm gonna get so late into the game and nobody's gonna win, and then I'm gonna win because I'm gonna get my cards back. But it's not too bad, like, gains you 1 life when it stations something, it gains you 1 life. I'm okay with this, I'm gonna give it actually a D+. It's fine. It's also an artifact creature. This is probably gonna be the set mascot, right? Scotty.
It's pretty cute.
It is pretty cute. It is pretty cute. Yeah. I love this effect, but this is when you can do it only once. It's opponent kills it, and then you're kind of, oh no, I'm gonna lose in 1 turn. When you can do it multiple times in that late game, then you like do it 4 or 5, and then like they're like, I don't want to kill that one. I know the good cards are coming. Okay. Can you read the next one? I'm just going to go and pour myself a bit of coffee.
Okay, nutrient block is 1 for an artifact food. It's indestructible. 2 untap, sacrifice this artifact. You gain 3 lives. When this artifact is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Very small synergies around the board. I don't think indestructible has any synergy in this set. I believe there's no way to animate it. It's just a flavor thing. And honestly, the effect is fairly minor. It's fairly minor. I think this is also a D. Like, I don't think we're going to be clamoring for nutrient blocks to fill out our artifact synergy in this set. I think there's just enough artifacts. It's not the worst, right? You can put it in your deck. It's going to do a thing. But I just think that this will get cut more often than it makes it.
Yeah, I think it's shit. It is only 1 mana, right? So to stack it, but I think there's enough artifacts, like things that make artifacts. There's that one blue artifact that, like, when it enters for 2 mana, draws you a card. When it dies, draws you a card. I think there's really no need for something like this. Even in black that wants to sack and stuff. I kind of want to give it D-, but I guess maybe there's room for it in that black deck. Just right now I'm not believer. Gonna be pretty cool if we are wrong about this one, so D, same, but I can see it going to a D-. Alright, next up we got Pinnacle Killship. For 7 mana, you get our first Spacecraft. Spacecraft is just an artifact that deals 10 damage to up to 1 target creature. And... okay, up to 1, so if you have creatures it's not gonna kill it. Then it has a station effect. This is the first one. Every single Spacecraft is gonna have this station effect, where it's not a creature, it just does some effect or no effects at all. And then you can, at sorcery speed, tap your creatures. You can do it any amount of times you want, but only at sorcery speed. And you add charge counters to the Spacecraft. When you do that, the amount of charge counters is gonna be the power of that tapped creature. So, and they're gonna have some kind of effects. It's similar like level up, but you're not paying mana, you're tapping your creatures. So when you tap 7 or more power with this station effect, this becomes a 7/7 flyer. I mean, it's actually not bad, man. This is
pretty big.
That's pretty big. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. That's a common. By the way, there are no common Spacecraft except in the Colorless. Except
There's 2 in Colorless, right?
Yeah. I guess we didn't go by mana value. Let's go with mana value. Do we go with mana value usually? I think we do.
Oh yeah, we do usually.
We're gonna do it for the uncommons.
Okay.
Okay, so these stations, Jesus Christ, man, they're so hard for me to decide how good they're gonna be.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I got takes. I got a take on Spacecraft.
Okay.
I think that the quality of your Spacecraft, right, actually depends a lot on your mana value, because I think spacecrafting and stationing has a very, very close relationship with warping.
With what?
Warping,
Warping, okay.
I think stationing and spacecrafts have a very close relationship with warping. I think the easiest way to station a ship is to warp, because I think that's the lowest cost way to actually put charge counters on your thing, is to warp something, tap it to station. Which means if you have a curve topping station, it's much more difficult to reasonably turn into a creature, like on the cheap. Because you don't want to warp when you can hardcast it. Because you don't want to warp when you can hardcast it. Because warping is really, really slow, right? You can warp, then it dies, and then you have to play it the next turn. So you really just want to hardcast those creatures.
By the way, everybody, warping is like this. Some creatures have an enchantments. You pay the lower mana cost usually for that card. You put it in the battlefield. It usually has some ETB effect, and then on the end step it goes into exile, and then you can later play it for its full mana. That's warping. So okay, please continue.
Yeah. So I think it actually is not a linear curve. I think the higher cost your spacecraft is, like the much more difficult it will be to turn it into a creature. Regardless of the fact that, late game, obviously you probably have 7 more power lying around. I don't think this card is bad. I think it's the best one of the ones we've seen so far. I just don't think it's like incredible. I think this is a D+.
Does kill anything, right?
Anything.
Man, I gotta say, I would say warp. It's a warp effect. I gotta say, I think in this set, 7 drops are gonna be just fine. There's such amazing commons and uncommons as well that give you lander tokens, and I guess we're gonna have to discuss that a little bit as well, because this card kind of cares about all of those things. The lander tokens are good creatures, guys, like pretty damn good creatures, are going to be just creating an artifact similar to food, similar to clue. It's gonna be an artifact, just an artifact token. For 2 mana, you sack that artifact and you search your deck for a freaking land, basic land. I mean, that's what you're gonna have in this set, almost only basic lands. And you put it on the battlefield, tapped. So just like, ramping is gonna be a big fucking thing in this set. Red, green, and black have incredibly good, efficient cards that create these lander tokens. Blue and white have a bit as well, but these 3 colors have like the best ones, I would say. You're just gonna have ramp. I mean, basically every deck. I think basically every deck is gonna have ramp. Also, green has amazing ramper for 1 mana. We're gonna get to that. So, I don't think 7 drops are really 7 drops in the usual sense in this set. Like, usually a 7 drop, it better be a fucking 7/7 that deals 10 damage to something, and it better just be that. I think, like, it needs to do so much because it's extremely hard to play a 7 drop. Like, for example, we had a 7/7 Trampler in the last set that destroyed artifact or enchantment, or drew a card, and you almost always had a good artifact or enchantment to do. What? You muted me, Scotty? Yeah, I muted on your stream.
I did on accident. That's my fault.
Okay.
Sorry, I wanted to kill the echo, but in the end, I killed you.
Killed me. Okay. And
should be fixed.
So 7 drops in this set are so much easier to cast, I think, than 7 drops in any other set. And we have more 7 drops as well, so I think they accounted for that. I'm still gonna give it a D+, but this is like, this existing is kind of like, oh, all of your ramp decks are gonna have access to 7 drop because it's a freaking common. This is gonna be the hardest set to, I mean, I think this is gonna be the set, I'm predicting it. Last set, Final Fantasy, I was so happy, we got so many, like, we got such a huge percentage of the cards right, even the weird ones. Some, of course, we got them wrong, some were super surprising. But this set, I can feel it that, maybe I said that for Final Fantasy as well, but I can feel that we might be, it's gonna be hard to decide how good things are without actually playing the set. But I don't know, man, are you really into warping for stations? like the effect has to be really good. Like, don't you want to just play a creature and then use it, and then you can use it next turn as well to station? Warp is only for one turn.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you naturally curve warping, it's the easiest way to fill a station without costing yourself too much. Otherwise, I think you're tempoing yourself too much.
But I think I prefer to like. I think I prefer to station with my creatures that are not warped most of the times. Because then
So you can't block?
Yeah, but you can't warp with warped creature. Because it's gonna go away on the end of your turn.
I'm saying if for example, if you play a 2-drop and you warp a 2-drop, then you can use that 2-drop to station. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like you want to warp, you want to go out of your way to warp. I'm saying that naturally in your curve, you're going to find more opportunities to warp than you will to tempo yourself by tapping your normal creatures.
But also, like, I think most of the times this is my prediction is like warp kind of feels like they want it to be things that help you station, but it also makes me feel like I just want to play creatures and then I lose some life. That's like tapping your creatures is losing life basically because the opponent can attack.
Yeah.
But then because of I'm sacrificing my life total using it as a resource, and then I'm gonna get extra creatures on the battlefield that are stations. And then there's gonna come that 2 turns where I all of a sudden have a lot more than the opponent.
I mean that's I think both those statements are correct. I think what you're saying is correct, and I also think that if you have a spot in your curve where you can warp something, it's gonna benefit cheaper stations. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, let's do D+ for this one as well. But I can see it going higher. I can actually see it going higher. In the previous set, I would not like this that much. I think.
Yeah.
In Final Fantasy, I think I like it a lot more with these lander tokens where you can. It feels not hard to get to 7. I feel like that's gonna be a real deal.
Thaumaton Torpedo. 1 for an artifact. 6 and tap, sacrifice this artifact, destroy target non-land permanent. This ability costs 3 less to activate if you attacked with a spacecraft this turn. The existence of this card to me feels like WotC understands that attacking with a spacecraft is like a feat, right? It's not particularly easy. That being said, right, if you do actually have the spacecraft to attack with, this is pretty good. Like 1 mana to drop, 3 mana to kill anything is actually quite strong. That's like better than a 4 mana kill anything spell because you can break it up between turns. That being said, I think it will be relatively difficult, and I'm not particularly interested at all in 1 mana to drop, 6 mana to kill. So I really do want to be having some amount of spacecrafts, like, I don't know, like 2, 3, 4, you know, that I can reasonably attack with to make cheaper. And even then, this will be filler. So for me, this is also a D+.
The fuck is a spacecraft? This is a spacecraft. We just talked about it for like 10 minutes. What do you give it a D+? I'll give it a D+. 3 tap, 4 mana. I can. Removal feels really good in this set, so this might be like worse than a D+. The removal doesn't seem as good as in Final Fantasy, but I don't remember any set that had removal that was as good as Final Fantasy removal. So I can see it being much worse though than D+. Let's give it a D. I'm gonna give it just a D. Just a D. I think it's not that easy. So in Spacecraft we have 2 spacecraft that are commons, only those are colorless, and then we have 2 spacecraft for each color that are uncommon. Some are better than the others. It's not a huge amount, but that's an okay amount. Well, we got our second spacecraft. It's Worm Wall Sweeper. For 2, you get a spacecraft. When this spacecraft enters, surveil 2. It has stations like all of them. Once you station it with 4 or more power, it becomes a 2/2 flyer. This is like the easiest one to do. That does this, the easiest one. So 2/2 flyer that surveils 2 would be incredible. This is colorless, remember. There are some cards that care about being tapped, or there's like a team, 2 cards being tapped team, 2 creatures being tapped, so that's something. There's a green guy for 1 mana 1/2 that taps something to ramp for any color. So I think this is playable. 4+ is a lot. 4+ is a lot, but you can think about it like it's a vehicle that you crew for a lot. Like this would be like crew for 1, probably, or crew for 2. I would say this would be crew for 2, and it would be pretty good, I think, if it was crew for 2. But then you crew it for 2 more, and it forever stays there. But this one is not big, it trades with anything. Surveil is kind of really nice. I'm actually giving it a D. I think it's fine.
I'm a little bit higher.
Filler. As a filler. Oh, you're higher?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm on a D+. I actually think this is totally fine. So here's out, which is funny because I'm about to bash it. The scenario which you're talking about, in which you take damage in order to get a creature to help you stabilize later, just doesn't really work when that creature is a 2/2. You know, like it's sort of like you're giving up potential. I mean, obviously, summoning sick cards are great for this, but like you could be potentially giving up like attackers to just attack a little bit better, which is kind of weird. That being said, I think this is cheap. I think it's pretty easy to station. So D+.
I think the problem with this one is like you get a pretty significant tempo loss by not actually affecting the board on turn 2 or for 2 mana, and then the reward is like just a 2/2. That's a big problem. Like other stations, you gotta put a lot more into them, but then you get a big reward, like a big tempo swing. So not into this one. You're on a D+. Okay, next up.
Command Bridge. Command Bridge is a land. This enters tapped. When this land enters, sacrifice it unless you tap an untapped permanent you control. Tap 1 mana of any color. So this is actually fairly difficult to like. It's a big cost. Like it's a big cost in order to actually put this down. If it's your only land in hand on turn 1, you obviously can't put it down. It's nice that you can tap like lander tokens. It's nice that you can tap like your early creatures, but it's still a big cost. That being said, this is like the only fixing land, which I think gives this a little bit of a bonus, because if you're trying to do splashy big stuff, you kind of have to turn to Command Bridge and lander tokens, right? That being said, I think using Command Bridge will be significantly worse than just using lander tokens pretty much all the time. I think this is a D.
Yeah, it's the only land I think that fixes. It's the only common land that fixes. Maybe the uncommon as well. I think it's also the uncommon, if I remember correctly. So we don't get dual lands, as Cory said. We don't get evolving vials and things like that. There's like 1 or 2 cards I think that let you play lands from your graveyard, and I kind of don't understand those, because how the lands go in the graveyard. There is no common card that mills. Maybe Surveil, I guess. There's some Surveil. Yeah, I'm on a D as well. I think there's enough fixing in this set that you really don't need a Command Bridge. But the cool thing about Command Bridge is some cards care about you having lands with different names. And Command Bridge is a name with a different name than any basic land. So D for now. If you gotta tap land for this, that is way too much. You're paying 2 mana. But I also think like there's enough lander tokens that you don't need to do this. And on to the uncommons. Let's sort by cost. All Fates scroll for 3 mana, you get an artifact that taps for any color. This is just like a mana rock, okay? But for 7 and a tap, you can sack it to draw X cards, where X is the number of differently named lands you control. So this could be a lot of cards later on, but that is 7 plus this, which is basically 8 you gotta tap. I think there's enough to do with... I think you're gonna be splashing a lot in this set. But I think there's enough to do that you basically never need this. That's how I feel. There is no reduction in cost. There's actually good card draw in this set. Good late drops. 7 mana draw. I think 7 mana draw 4 is gonna be a possibility, or more even, depending what you're playing. Very easy to get these lands in the battlefield. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm just gonna give it a D. I really don't like it. I think in this set you have enough things to do that you don't need it.
Okay. I mean, I'm a little bit higher on that. I mean, like literally, as you said, there's enough stuff to do, which this sort of helps with. I don't expect that 3 mana play a Mono Rock is going to get as punished in the set as in certain sets in the past. D plus.
I think it will because like you have like really good 2 mana, 3 mana cards that get you lander tokens, and then that's kind of gonna give you fixing. It kind of feels like it's out of place in this set. Like just get me a lander token, and I get that land in, and get an actual creature like this one, for example. Okay, go Scotty, please.
Dauntless Scrapbot. Dauntless Scrapbot is 3 mana for an artifact creature robot. When this creature enters, sorry, it's a 3/1. When this creature enters, exile each opponent's graveyard, create a lander token. This card good. Dang.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. That's like a 2-for-1. It's colorless. It trades with a lot of things on curve, and you get stuff left over. And the exiling graveyard is not huge value, but it's the lander token and a serviceable body. That's good. I think this is a C+.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it at least a C+. It goes in any deck. That's the thing. Sure, we got a 3/3 in green. I mean, exiling graveyard, there are some things that care about graveyard, like white, green, and black, and care about graveyard. And yeah, this is like 2-for-1. Beautiful. The fact that it's colorless, right? So you just trade it with anything and you're happy. Next up, Virulent Silencer. For 3, you get a 2/3 whenever a non-token artifact creature you control deals combat damage to a player. That player gets 2 poison counters. That feels horrible. It's a 2/3 body. Virulent. That feels really bad for a 2/3 body. I don't think I want it. There are artifacts you can't. Tokens don't work, so those robots won't work. You get 2/2 robots sometimes. 1/1 flying robots as well. So that doesn't work. There is the only poison right in this set. That's true. I'm gonna give it a D-, man. It's horrible, I think.
I think this is also a D-.
Bodies suck, so no thank you.
Survey Mechan. 4 mana for an artifact creature robot. It's a 1/3 with flying and hexproof. And 10, sacrifice this creature. It deals 3 damage to any target. Target player draws 3 cards and gains 3 life. This ability costs X less to activate, where X is the number of differently named lands you control. This is incredibly expensive and extremely small body. Like, as a payoff for this kind of doing cool stuff, it's sad that this isn't a little bit better. Or like, you know, like a little bit higher toughness or could block. This like doesn't block anything. Quite sad. Quite sad. Because the ability is cool. I just think that like you could be casting rares and stuff on the splash instead of mucking around with Survey Mechan. So I think this is also a D-.
I mean, the ability is pretty damn powerful, right? 3 life gain,
It's
3
quite good.
kill something, draw 3 cards. Instant speed, so you can block something. They're not gonna kill it before you get there. Ugh. Why is it a 1/3? I mean, good thing that it's a 1/3 because it has hexproof. Stations for 1.
I could see a D.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a D as well.
Like,
But
depending on how slow the set is.
if the set is super slow, I can see this being way better than what we're thinking it's gonna be. It's also instant speed. Ramp is there. 1 mana green guy that taps. It can tap this and then you cast it for less. Oh, but it's not gonna be fun. Like this is not easy. This is not like 5 mana. It's not 5 mana. Stack this creature.
I mean, not with that attitude, it isn't.
Yeah, I mean when it's 5, you probably have a shit ton of mana. Even though they're lander tokens, they're great, but It's not like you're gonna get this extremely fast use of few lander tokens. I'm on a D+. I'm a believer that this can be something. Bygone Colossus. For 9, it's a 9/9, but it warps for 3. This is very obvious. This guy stations any spacecraft, and the spacecraft is there. It becomes a creature. It becomes a creature. The big problem with this guy is that it's a freaking 9-mana 9/9 later. You get your thing up, and it's a 9-drop. And even in this set, it's a 9-drop. And even with lander tokens, it's a 9-drop. That's so much. We played with a Behemoth, which is a 9-drop that breaks the game kinda a lot of times. But it's a 9-drop. It's so hard to cast. Yeah, this should have reached, Scotty. Now, I don't believe in this thing. I don't believe it in a station deck, I think. Like, it's not like you get a station, now you get... It makes 3 bodies. I'm on a D.
Whoa. Okay. D-. I'm judging you.
Yeah, it could be D-. I can see it being D-.
This card's terrible.
It is horrible. It is horrible. D because I believe. But it's horrible.
Rares now, yeah?
Now we're on to the rares.
Is the first one Eternity Elevator for you?
Yes.
The Eternity Elevator. 5 mana for a legendary artifact, Spacecraft. Tap to add colorless. Has station and 20 plus. Tap to add X mana of any one color, where X is none of charge counters on the Eternity Elevator. This is an F.
F.
It's a 5 mana rock that adds 3 mana. And that's it.
Yeah, if you're gonna do this 20 plus, I don't know how you didn't lose or win the game already. Like how one of those didn't happen.
Politics, that's why.
Politics. Alright. Bye-bye, station. Eternity Elevator, very cool thing. Yeah, that last uncommon, like a 9 mana 9/9 with no text is horrible. It's the worst thing ever. Alright. Anti-Causal Vestige. For 6 mana, it's an Eldrazi with a 7 power and 5 toughness. When this creature leaves the battlefield, draw a card, then you may put a permanent card with mana value less than or equal to the number of lands you control from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. That's pretty good. Right? Like, on turn 4 you can pay 4, which is kind of bad. If you have a station, this one is like thing for stations, then you can like use it on a station. That's really good. And when it leaves the battlefield, which it's gonna do, like it goes away once you warp it on the end of your turn. But so you put a 4-drop in. But if you have like 6 mana or something, you can pay 4 and then put like a bigger thing in and also play a 2-drop. That's pretty cool. And then 6 mana 7/5, that's gonna give you value once he dies. Like, that's not very good. Like, without warp, it's not good, I think. It's not good at all. With warp, I'm into it. Station for 7 is big. And you're not losing tempo. Usually with warp, you lose tempo. Like, you gain some kind of advantage, but you lose tempo. Here, the tempo loss is that creature enters the battlefield tapped. Or permanent, whatever. That's about it. So you're losing some life, probably. No, this is not a bomb. Absolutely not, I think. I think I like it a lot. I'm on a B-.
I'll take this pretty much over most Bs because it's colorless. So I'm giving this a B+.
True, it is colorless. It is colorless. Like warp, you gotta have something.
Colorless is a big deal for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with a B. I'm okay with a B. Give it a B as well for me. I thought this was gonna be a set with slivers, man, with a lot of slivers. It is not.
Thrumming Hive Pool, 6 mana for an artifact, affinity for slivers. which means that this spell costs 1 less to cast for each sliver you control. Slivers you control have double strike and haste. At the beginning of your upkeep, create 2 1/1 colorless sliver creature tokens. So this is no impact the turn it drops.
It's always
And then
6
after
mana.
that, it creates like 4 power worth of stuff because like each of the 1/1s deal 2 damage.
Every single turn.
So it's like every single turn, yeah, that which will take over the game. So the big question: can you survive that one turn? I think the answer, for the most part, will be yeah. I think you can.
Yeah, I think you can.
I think it's pretty good. I think this card is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think this card is a B-.
I think this card is a B. I don't think this set is gonna be super fast. The thing also is that stations are gonna be flying, so this might not be able to chump things. So
Sure.
if the set is
That's true, yeah.
the faster the set is, the more atrociously bad this is. Horrible. The slower the set is, the more broken this becomes. So it's usually one of those. It's like either it's really good and it's not a very, very fast set, or it's really, really bad and it's a bit faster set. And I don't feel that this set is gonna be crazy fast. Maybe I'm wrong. We're gonna see by the end of the list once we talk through the cards. But yeah. Slivers don't exist, so I think it does enough. Even though nothing on this turn when you play it is huge for a 6-drop. But I think it does enough. Extinguisher Battleship for 8 mana. This feels like a green-black card, man. It's a spacecraft. When it enters, destroy target non-creature permanent. Then this spacecraft deals 4 damage to each creature. And it's a station. Sorry, it's a spacecraft, which means you can station it, and it's a 10/10 flying trample. But you only need 5+. So destroy some non-creature permanent, like it's probably their spacecraft or something like that, before they become that. And then 4 damage to everything. Even your creatures. As an 8-drop. Yeah, if you have like a 5/5, and then it can become like a flying trampler 10/10, which is pretty big. This is 100% not. What's the name of the flying dragon? It's not a Tali, but something similar in TDM.
What? Oh, Ureni?
Ureni, the 10/10, yeah. Etali is a dinosaur. This is not it. That guy is just 10/10 right away, and it has some protection, and it kills only opponent's things. So not even close. So I would not give this a bomb rate. That being said, this set has a lot of lander tokens. And if you have a 5/5, this literally just probably becomes the thing this turn or next turn. I'm gonna not a bomb, I think, but because this set, I think it supports 8-drops, 7-drops much easier. I'm gonna go on an B for this one.
We should also clarify rules-wise. Your creatures that will die that turn to this can't crew this because
Cannot station. Yeah.
Yeah, they cannot.
Station is a
They can't
sorcery.
station. Yeah, B for me as well.
Okay. Now we got
You want to do all the shock lands together?
Yeah, all the shock lands together. We got, what, 5 or 10? 5? Never mind.
5. 5 of them.
Okay. So shock lands
Giving
just...
them all like C minuses.
Yeah. If you pay 2 life, they come untapped. C minus, differently named lands really work well there. I'm on a C. That's... If you need them, you need them. C. By the way, lander tokens, can they search this?
Lander tokens, I believe, are colorless only, or basic only.
Basic only. Okay, only basic lands. Not basic land type.
Yeah. That would break constructed.
Okay. All right. Secluded Starforge for you can tap it for colorless. You can also pay 2, tap it, and tap X untapped artifacts you control to give target creature +X/+0 until end of turn. Activate only sorcery. For 5 and a tap, you can create a 2/2 robot. It's a differently named land. So for 6 mana, you're making a 2/2 that's not tapped. Actually, not tapped. Did I say tapped? Non-tapped. 6 mana, you're making 2/2s. This 2 and a tap is kind of fine. Maybe for you have stations or some shit. Not that bad. I think I'm okay with this actually in this set. I think I would give it a very low grade. I hate colorless lands. But I think with lander tokens, I think I like being able to do something like this. And I'm gonna give it a C.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. C+ for me.
Okay. I mean, that's special. Still a colorless land, still costs a lot.
Yeah. And like the flexibility to sometimes just clock your opponent with a flyer. Pretty dang good.
These are... No, we don't do this, right? No, we don't do this. We don't do this. Okay, there's the rare colorless cards. Now, do we even have mythic colorless? I kinda forgot. We do have a card. Oh, yeah, we do. Ready?
Okay, let's talk about the Dominion Bracelet. Dominion Bracelet is 2 mana for legendary artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has 15. Exile the Dominion Bracelet. You control target opponent during their next turn. This ability costs X less to activate, where X is this creature's power. Activate only as a sorcery. Equip 1. I think this is an F. I don't think that double costed short sword is very good, and I don't think you're ever activating this. Like, actually ever.
But it costs less where X is that creature's power.
That's true, yeah. So if you put it on a 5/5, it now will cost 10.
9. Because it gives +1/+1.
Oh. Wow. A+ though.
It's a powerful effect. And a creature doesn't have to be untapped as well. Maybe on a huge spaceship? I mean, Scotty, like, it's a bad short sword, right? Yeah, we're okay with that. But it does something before it does that. Huh?
Very little.
And you get a lot more.
The reason why short sword is... I mean, the reason why short sword is good is because, like, you can pass it around for aggressive. It's like, short sword's an aggro card. This is, like, non-functional.
But short sword is also not a very good aggro card. Yeah, 2 is so much. Now I'm gonna give it a D-, and I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna give it a D-. Probably not smart to put this in your deck. Well, D- is a horrible card. Damn! Alright, Tezzeret, Cruel Captain. For 3 colorless mana, you got a freaking 4 loyalty planeswalker. Alright. Whenever an artifact you control enters, put a loyalty counter on Tezzeret. It has 3 loyalty abilities, the first one being 0. Untap target artifact or creature. If it's an artifact creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay, that's great for stationing. That's great for buffing your artifact creatures as well. Alright, not bad. It's 3 mana colorless freaking planeswalker. For -3, search your library for an artifact card with mana value 1 or less, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Thought it was gonna be battlefield. Okay. For -7, which you need to play a bit of artifacts, you get an emblem at the beginning of combat on your turn, put 3 +1/+1 counters on target artifact you control. If it's not a creature, it becomes a 0/0 robot artifact creature. I mean, this is really good. This is a 3 mana 4 loyalty guy that grows for every artifact that enters, and you have lander tokens and artifact creatures and artifacts. It doesn't really protect itself that much. Really makes stationing easier. It's easy just to like grow this. I'm gonna B+. And then -7, I think it's not that hard to get. I don't think -7 is that hard to get, and it's pretty powerful for a 3 mana freaking colorless loyalty planeswalker.
Yeah, 3 mana is so cheap for a planeswalker. And there's so many artifacts. I think it's a B+ as well.
Yeah, it's very hard to kill this. It's very, very hard to kill this. Extremely hard. Okay.
Dawnsire. Dawnsire, Sunstar Dreadnought. 5 mana. For a legendary artifact Spacecraft with Station. 10+, whenever you attack, Dawnsire deals 100 damage to up to 1 target creature or planeswalker, and 20+, it's a flying 2020. This
Stuffy
has no
doll.
effect.
Stuffy doll.
This has no effect when it enters the battlefield. I also think this is an F.
Really?
You have to tap 10. Okay, fine. Once you tap 10, then you can finally start doing stuff. It's really slow. Fine. It's like this is like a D.
There is no Stuffy doll in no, really? There is a Stuffy doll in the format? No, there's no.
That's a D minus.
So basically, every time you attack, you're gonna be killing creatures. I mean, killing something. Like, I think that's worth it to build a deck around it.
I think if you have an uninterrupted curve, it's reasonable on turn 6 to activate this and attack. I think it's reasonable. But that's with a perfect non-interrupted curve. They don't interact with you at all. You don't have to block, and you're not dealing damage for 2 turns. Which is like that's the highest form of this card.
And then you're gonna be killing something every turn. Their best thing.
Yeah, which is good.
Their biggest thing.
That is good.
Yeah, if anything attacks, and then of course if you get it to 20, it kills the opponent in 1 turn, right?
Yes.
Scotty is echoing. Has Scotty been echoing all the time, or is it just now? Format doesn't seem that fast, Scotty. B minus. Yeah.
Wait, what'd you just say?
B minus.
Sheesh. Okay.
B minus.
Okay.
Wait, Scotty you started echoing. Did you change something?
No, it's only on your stream. It's been like that forever, I think, for you.
I literally didn't change anything.
No, it's been like that. I've been like that forever on your stream.
Yeah, let me. No. You weren't echoing like before. No way. Like people say, and then we fix it. I'm gonna just.
I'm starting to. Maybe it's because I'm starting to shout at you.
I lowered my. Tell me if he's echoing now. Scotty, try saying something.
What if I say something really loud, like B minus? Wow, that's so crazy.
Did Scotty echoing?
I can't be loud. I'm sorry. It's just not in my. I can't do it.
Okay, I've moved you. Lowered your. No, I didn't lower your volume, but I lowered you my speakers. B minus 10. I think it's not that difficult. Because the reward is there. I think like it's gonna be hard. Like you might die because of it. If you're playing against aggressive deck, you're gonna get fucked with this. But I still feel like this is not a very fast format and you can do this. That's my feeling. There's that guy, yeah, with 3 power that untaps something once it taps. So that's like station with exactly 4, then 3, and then 4, and you got it.
Yeah, I think you can trigger this on turn 6.
You can do it on turn 5. Yeah, you play that 3-2. You can do it 5. Play that 3-2, play a 4-drop that has 4 power. Tap the 4-drop, tap the 3-drop, untap the 4-drop, tap the 4-drop. Because there's the 3-drop that untaps something when it gets tapped for one time. I'm gonna be minus. I believe.
Then what are you attacking it with?
Your 2-drop.
It's fine.
Your 2-drop.
Okay, fine.
I believe that this is gonna be a real thing. And this is probably gonna be the highest difference in grades. Like B minus, D minus. I don't know if it ever happened. And I'm usually not a big fan of 5 mana or of anything that doesn't affect the board. Alright, next one. The Endstone. For 7 mana, you get a legendary artifact. Whenever you play a land or cast a spell, draw a card. That's cool. At the beginning of your end step, your life total becomes half your starting life total rounded up. That's kind of that is interesting. I think this is horrible. I mean, it's actually gonna keep you on 10 life, right? They gotta kill you, right? They gotta. I mean, they gotta deal 10 damage to you. to kill you, right? But you know what's the problem, Scotty? It seems like maybe it's a little bit easy to overdraw here with this. I mean, they must deal 10 life to you. They must deal 10 damage. You're never gonna die unless they deal 10 damage to you, right?
Or you deck out, yeah.
Yeah, or deck out. It's like, it's extremely hard to deal 10 damage to somebody. It's extremely hard in one turn. Right?
Yeah, it's almost like assembling 10 power is extremely difficult.
No. That's completely different, assembling fucking 10 power, Scotty. Over maybe 2 turns, Scotty. Over 2 or 3 turns. Not 3, over 2 turns. Over 2 turns, you'll shit. This is different. This is getting 10 power through the blockers, through the opponent's board.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that this is a real card. I want to hear your grade first, because I think we're gonna fight.
I think this is a C.
Oh, C+, okay.
I also think like the thing is like if you do untap with this, it's actually going to be a nightmare for your opponent because like you can continue to drop things, you can start throwing away creatures to prevent yourself from taking 10.
Yeah.
And then you can probably win the game before you deck out. Probably. Yeah. Not always, but probably.
You know, Scotty, I'm on a B-.
Okay.
I mean, this is
our differences and
yeah,
our differences in how slow the set is must be very different.
But doesn't matter the speed of the set. Like, okay, but I think it's much easier to get to 7 in this set, and it's like you gotta be dealt 10 damage. 10. When is it? That's so rare that opponent can deal 10 damage to you.
Yeah, otherwise they just don't even attack.
Yeah, they literally the attacks don't matter if they're not gonna deal 10 damage.
Yeah. I mean, I will give. I think this is better than Absolute Virtue. So.
What is absolute?
By a little bit.
What is Absolute Virtue? Remind me.
The 8 mana 8/8. 8 mana 8/8 protection from players. Player protection.
Ah, okay, yeah. I mean, they can kill your artifact, right? That would suck.
Yep.
Next.
Are we doing these
lands?
Yeah. Okay. All right. This is Adagia, Windswept Bastion, land planet. This land enters tapped. Tap to add white. Station 12+. 3 and a white. Tap. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact or enchantment you control, except as legendary. Activate only as semi-low opportunity cost. This is also a differently named land for whatever cares about that. I do think that 12+ is extremely difficult to get to, but when you do, it's not until end of turn, so you can like copy stuff like Banishing Light, etc., etc., etc. I think
Spacecraft. It's so the cost is tapped planes.
Yep, tap planes.
Yeah, I'm okay with C. Tapped planes. That's like not a big cost. D seems fine.
Yeah. Okay, I said a D, but you're on a C.
Yeah. Evendo, Waking Heaven. Tapped. It's all of these are planets, land planets. And all of them have station. It's a tapped forest, but for 12+ station, charge counters, I guess. You can pay 1 green and tap it to add green for each creature you control. Yeah, this one kind of sucks. I mean, I don't know. If I'm gonna be, I don't wanna. I basically never wanna station this. I think this is a F. D- because of different named land. D-.
Okay, I'm on a D- too for almost the exact same reason.
Okay.
All right. Caravan, Memorial World. Land planet. It's a tapped mountain. Station 12+. 1 and a red, tap, sacrifice a land, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. Then creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until end of turn. I think this one is the best one I've seen so far. D+ for me.
That's pretty cool. I'm okay with a
It's not
C-.
bad. Okay, you think it's worse than the white one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because once I do this, I kind of want to like get. It's super late game, anyways. Like usually you don't do this, right? This is like rarely, but it's something that you can do with some of your creatures. It's repeatable. What do you mean it's repeatable? Okay. Susur Secundi, Void Altar. A tapped swamp for 12+ again. You can pay 1 and a black and tap it and pay 2 life, sacrifice a creature, draw cards equal to the sacrifice creature's power. I mean, that could be a lot of cards. I'm kind of okay with a D+.
I think this one is heckin' costly. This is a D for me.
Yeah, it does cost a lot.
Sacking a creature, paying the life in addition to that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a great payoff.
I kind of like these lands like being something else. What is shit?
All right. Ulthros Titanic God Core. Dang, that's a name.
Yeah.
Planet. It's a tapped island station. 12 blue. Tap. Add blue for each artifact you control. D-.
Yeah. For this one, D- because it's a different name land. Don't care about that effect. At that stage of the game, it probably doesn't matter. Alright, we're done with these, right? These are now on the bonus sheet. Hey, those have been the commons and uncommons and rares and mythics of Colorless. Let's do multicolored uncommons first, huh?
Sure.
I think we wanna sort them by... Does number